Hello and welcome to this edition of Consciousness Raising Online. I'm going to do a little something different today. The title, you notice, right? The title says, They Caught a Cold, We Caught Pneumonia. It's an old saying, and it's proven to be very true that essentially whatever affects white people is going to affect us more. And this virus is doing that. One of the things that I want to do I don't want to get into a debate with folks who believe in uh, some of these theories like uh, the 5G causes the virus and aliens from outer space are doing it and the Illuminati. It's a lot of different theories running around out here. They really are. And it bothers me because it keeps us from doing the one thing that I feel we should be doing over everything else. And that's organize. Organize to deal with it. Whatever community we're in, we need to do that because one of the things about us, meaning black people, is that we're affected very much differently. Very much differently. Um, Worse. And because of that, we're having people die and they're dying right. I just before I came on here a little while ago, I just heard about a friend of mine. Sorry about that. Actually, I had somebody come to my door, and I don't open my door if I don't know who you are. And if you ain't got on no mask, no. But my point is that we have to organize to deal with what's going on because it's a serious issue. As I mentioned a minute ago, a friend of mine died either late last night or early this morning, and he was 43 years old. It's not no joke. But what I want to do today is lay out some points about what's going on. Like I say, they catch a cold, we catch pneumonia, and it's showing up pretty clear that we are first in line for the deaths. In fact, let me show you this picture. This guy right here, the Surgeon General. Yeah, he's the U.S. federal government's Surgeon General. Relatively young brother. And first of all, we should be wondering how in the heck did he get to be picked in Trump's administration as the Surgeon General when we know he don't like Negroes at all. I should say he don't like black people. And he popped up. I was like, where'd he come from? And he had been saying, the administration line, what are we supposed to say? And then yesterday or the day before, he did something that really tripped me out. He was giving his presentation, his press conference presentation, and then he went into this thing about how, black people are affected more than anybody else, right? So what did the Negro do? he proceeded to say that black people need to stop smoking, drinking liquor, and drinking alcohol and doing something else, right? It was the standard thing that they like to say when they want to blame it on you. See, it's not that you got a virus because it's a virus going around. You got a virus because you smoke, drink, uh, or do something else, whatever it was he said, dancing, I don't know, singing. Um, See, that's an exceptionalism. In other words, everybody else got it, but you got it because you black and you smoke, drink, or eat pork. Okay? That's messed up. And then he had the nerve to say, do it for Big Mama. Uh, I'm like, what are you talking about? So, and you see, Trump likes that stuff because he likes to be able to say, well, yeah, it's their own fault. Okay? But all over this country, you'll see it where we are catching hell. This one right here, these are some sisters that are talking to an elder, one of their elder relatives, who's in a nursing home, and the only way they can talk to him is through that window. And this was down in, I forget what it is. I think this was in Texas, I think. No, it was in Maryland. It was in Washington, D.C. That's where it was. And this was like the first day of these seafood market or whatever. And you see all them black folks down there, ain't hardly none of them got on any masks, and they're definitely not doing the thing, okay? This I included because one of the things we definitely should be doing is making masks. Um, we should be sewing if we can sew, but also learning how to make them. The sew lesson, no sew masks. There's plenty of videos on the internet, things like that, and we should be teaching everybody in the family how to make their own mask. And they should have a few of them, not just one or two, because here's the problem, or here's the challenge. I don't care what the government is saying. This is not going to be over in a minute. We're going to have to deal with this for several months coming. And we need to have the masks because even once Trump says, okay, we're going to reopen America, there's still a lot that's going to be going on. For one thing, they're talking about they need to have tests to see if you've had the virus, see if you have the antibodies, things like that. And here's the biggest challenge of all. There's every sign that because we have not been consistent all across the country with the distance and stuff like that, that the virus is going to come back again. It's going to be a second wave, might even be a third wave. Areas that are not being strongly affected now, they will be strongly affected next week or next month. And when that happens, that'll start a wave all over again. And we don't know yet if you can get it twice. There have been some cases where people have had it and got sick, got well, and got it again. So we have to be prepared to go through a period where, for several more months, we have to be prepared. So that's one thing. We need to have the masks. We need to have a bunch of them. Okay? And since we can make them out of handkerchiefs or bandanas or t-shirts or whatever, we need to make a bunch. Make sure in your family everybody's got a bunch. And because if you use the no sewing ones, then all you got to do is take the rubber band or the scrunchie or whatever you're using, and throw the thing in the washing machine. And understand the mask's primary purpose is to protect others from you in case you have it and don't know it. Okay? But it does give some protection when you go out, if somebody has it around you, um, it does give you some. It's not the best or 100%, but it's better than nothing. And that's the key. You want to deal with it because it's better than nothing. So you want to organize your family uh, to understand about the importance of the masks. And it's not like you can just run out. I'm gonna just run out to the store, and I'm not gonna put this mask on. I don't feel like it. No, put it on anytime you leave out, because it don't take but a minute. All you got to do is run out there one time without the mask, and sure enough, you go in the store, and somebody around you, they don't even have to cough or sneeze. They can just breathe around you. They might even say hello and give you the virus. Okay? So don't chance it. And you might not catch it, but you might be carrying it and give it to your kids when you come home. Okay, or your loved ones. Okay? So just understand that. And I'll say this again because I did share this once before, but I'll share it again. One of the things you might want to do is when you come in from outside, you take off your mask and you throw it in the washing machine. Um, what you might want to do is gargle with peroxide, hydrogen peroxide. Make sure you don't swallow it. You don't give it to children because they might swallow it. But you want to take a swig of mouthwash of the peroxide, swish it around in your mouth, take a couple of handfuls of water while you still got the peroxide in your mouth. So you're actually diluting it and swish it around some more and then spit it out and then rinse your mouth again. And you can tell because it'll bubble up. Okay. And I say this because of this. That the primary way that the virus enters your body is through the mouth. Because they say it goes down your throat, and one of the first things you feel is not a sore throat, but a raspy throat, and then it works its way down into your system. Well, that means it's going in through your mouth. So what you can do, at least to cut down the possibility, is to gargle with the peroxide in the mouth because it will kill the virus. Okay. All right. What else? These are all things that we should be doing. And I say that it's organized to do these things. Don't just do it haphazardly. Take responsibility in your family, in your household, that you organize your family. Because trust me, like I say, it's not going to go away. And let me show you something. There are food lines. There are food lines in various cities across this country. And what I want you to notice, now I think this might be Pittsburgh. Some of these scenes, that's Pittsburgh. And then there's Florida, and there's San Antonio, Texas, um, different places. Okay, these are people in line for food. Okay, now this is in Chicago. This is at the stadium where the Bulls play, and took that, and all of that's food. I think it's 26,000 boxes. That's San Antonio, Texas. And what I want you to understand is this is at the end of the month, beginning of April. Okay, the end of March, beginning of April. These photos are from, right? Now, these are a lot of them are white people getting food now. If this goes on for several months, they're going to be desperate. You see these lines here? What do you think these lines are going to be at the end of this month? Because what they're supposed to do is give you enough food to last you for the month. I don't know if they do or not, but okay. You think these people are going to be patient like this next month? No. There's a very real possibility that we're going to see some ugly stuff jumping off over this food, over supplies. And that means everything from toilet paper to masks and gloves. Okay? And if you don't organize for your family, get your family organized, how I'll give you a good example. What would happen in your household if next week or the week after, all of a sudden, the stores in your neighborhood, none of them have any bottled water? Okay? Now, for some people, they say that's okay, we don't use it anyway. But a lot of us use bottled water. We drink it, we get it to drink. So what if that your stores don't have none in your whole neighborhood? Okay? Now you're stuck with just the water out of the faucet. But what would happen if you're like Flint, Michigan, University Park, Illinois, and probably some other places where all of a sudden the water out of the faucet is not drinkable? Whoa. What if the water gets cut off for some reason? What would you and your family do for water? See, one of the problems we have is that we are so dependent upon white people. We assume that because they got it, they're going to make sure we get it. But if things get hard up for them, that's where the expression comes from. If they catch a cold, we're going to catch pneumonia. So if the water gets short, trust me, they're not going to go out their way to make sure we got water. When food comes up short, they're not going to go out their way to make sure we got water, food. If supplies come up short, they're not going out of their way to make sure we got supplies. And if they're doing things like this now, lining up for hours to get some food, it should send a message to you. Organize your family. Because here's what's happening. I want you to understand this from this point of view. Um, we are, you see this unemployment claims? Here's what happened. When everything shut down, it was like hitting them with a body blow. Because it wasn't just us, it wasn't us just the last hired, first fired. It was millions of white people who had no clue that they were going to be jobless the next week. So over 3 weeks period of time, almost 17 million people signed up for unemployment. Now here's the problem. No matter what state it is, no state was prepared for uh, a huge number of brand new people applying for unemployment. See, think of it like this. They're used to maybe, average, like in Illinois, right? They might be used to maybe 100 to 200,000 people a month applying for unemployment. All of a sudden, in 1 week, they had like a million. Bam! It was so many that thousands and thousands of people, first of all, couldn't get through on the internet website because it crashed. And the other thousands and thousands couldn't get through on the phone because the phone line, they didn't have enough phone lines and they didn't have enough people. And in quite a few states, they're already saying, we don't have enough money to pay all our people unemployment because they weren't planning for that. They weren't expecting to have millions of people all of a sudden they got to give unemployment to. Okay? Yeah, this is some serious thing. And I don't care what Trump says. He can't just turn on the country and say, okay, we're going to turn the country back on. It don't work like that. Right now, as I'm talking to you, there are thousands of businesses, especially smaller businesses, that are going out of business and will not recover. They're not going to recover. And a lot of this so-called stimulus money are supposed to go to small businesses. One of the tricks is that A lot of small businesses ain't getting that money. Because first of all, the banks that have the money, that the money was sent to, they're not giving that money out willy-nilly. In fact, they're squeezing people because they don't want to give the money out. So you're not hearing that on the news. But look around your neighborhood. And if you don't believe me, wait till it's so-called over and watch how many businesses don't come back into business, especially the black-owned businesses. It's going to be rough. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. So, um, yeah, yeah. All right, let me take a minute just to say something here. The COVID-19, you hear the phrase all the time, okay? And the, and you also hear coronavirus, right? You hear coronavirus and COVID-19. Are they the same thing? Well, yes and no. The virus is the coronavirus, but the disease that it causes, they've labeled it as COVID-19. Here's what I want you to understand. The COVID-19, the disease is not alive. It's not alive. It's not a living thing. Yeah, ain't that something? Yeah, it's not a living thing. Um, it attaches to living things, living tissue in you, but it's not alive. It has a coating on it, and that's why they tell you talk about washing your hands in for 20 seconds and stuff because the soap breaks down the coating, okay, and that way the virus is washed away, okay. That's what happens. So it's not even a living thing. But look at this, because there's people that keep saying, "Oh, this is not real." All I can say is this: if some entity was so almighty powerful that they could fake all these numbers, and the people I know, the people you know, who are actually dying, there's people say, "Oh, they ain't really, these people ain't really dying." Well, when somebody that you know dies, they'll just say, "Oh, well, they didn't die. They didn't die of the virus. They died of something else. They died of 5G radiation." Don't come to my house, okay? I don't have time. And don't try talking to people who have lost relatives, family members from this. I say this: go to a hospital and go see if you can visit somebody who's on one of those respirators, because it ain't no joke. And for those that think that yeah, these people did this because they wanted to cause this or cause that, look, this is killing this country. You don't kill the country that you want to run, that you want to push into a situation where you're running it in certain ways. You want to take away the rights. You don't kill off the population. People say, "Oh well, yeah, but see, they're doing this so they can move the National Guard in and take over and stuff." Take over what? Look at this. Look at this. Okay, you gonna take over what? And here's the sad part for those that say, "Well, yeah, they want to take over." The military, they're catching the virus too, just like the police, the firemen, fire people, the nurses and doctors, they're dying too. So it's not a joke. It's not a plot to take over nothing. Okay, I need you to understand the importance of organizing. It's serious. They uncaught cold. We catching them up. Okay. Um, Yeah, this is a food line. They were going so hard. It went so far. Look at this. And somebody said, pointed out, said, well, look at all them nice cars. Look at all them nice cars. Them people don't need no food. Okay, those people had jobs last week and now they ain't got no jobs. And so while you sitting up here looking at them saying, oh man, that ain't nothing, okay? They're out there getting that food.
If there is one image that can clearly show us how this health crisis has become an economic crisis in this country, it is this right here. The Pittsburgh Gazette captured video of hundreds of cards lining up for the Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank before it opened yesterday. Some waited 5 hours as volunteers distributed emergency supplies to 1,500 families, and then they ran out.
A new reality for those in need. Rick Paulson is the volunteer coordinator for the Joined Hands Food Pantry. He says they've been holding the food pantry for 15 years, but have never seen it like this.
Someone says out of the 1950s movie or a bad dream, it's just so surreal.
On this day, 7,200 pounds of food was given away from the Chicago Food Depository, and it went fast.
We had so many calls from people. And
yeah, if they don't want to deal with it, I'm going to play that video again in a minute so you can hear it. If you want to check into what I'm talking about, if you don't believe me, it's okay. Do your own research. Do your own research. Don't accept somebody else's word. Do your own research. I had somebody tell me, well, they said, well, when people that's pushing the idea that it's just the 5G that's killing people. I said, well, talking about those towers? They said, yeah, it's coming from them towers. I said, what about the places where they don't have any towers, but people are coming down with the virus? And they said, no, you don't understand. That's not really happening there. I said, it's not happening there? No, it's not happening there. Ooh, really? So they're just making that up? Yep, yeah, they're just making that up. I said, okay, all right. See, I'm not going to debate with you about that. I can't. It's not worth it to me. Okay? But I just pray for you and your family. All right, I'm going to close that. I'm going to show you that video that I started showing a minute ago, and I'll let you hear it. And I will see you again soon. This of course is being recorded, so if you want to wait a few minutes, you can see it again from the beginning, or you can send it to your family and friends or whatever, so they can see it and understand the importance of organizing, taking it serious. It's not going away in a week. That's what I need you to understand. It's not going away in a week. We're not going to wake up one morning and all of a sudden next week or the week after, it'll be all over and back to normal. No, it's not going back to normal. What we thought of as normal is never coming back. It's going to be a different type of normal. And you got to organize to deal with it. So, again, no justice, no peace, no love, KNOW.
It is this right here. The Pittsburgh Gazette captured video of hundreds of cards lining up for the Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank before it opened yesterday. Some waited 5 hours as volunteers distributed emergency supplies to 1,500 families, and then they ran out.
A new reality for those in need. Rick Paulson is the volunteer coordinator for the Joined Hands Food Pantry. He says they've been holding the food pantry for 15 years, but have never seen it like this.
Someone says out of the 1950s movie or a bad dream, it's just so surreal.
On this day, 7,200 pounds of food was given away from the Chicago Food Depository, and it went fast.
We had so many calls from people, and we knew they were first-time people because we were asking where the location was.
Just moments ago, the Labor Department put out its statistics. A jaw-dropping 3,283,000 jobless claims were filed last week. 3,283,000 jobless claims. That number dwarfs any other week on record. Joining us now, former Treasury official and Morning Joe economic analyst Steve Ratner.
We are clearly in a major recession with major impacts on working men and women in this country who are not going to have their jobs. The highest we saw during the Great Recession was 665,000. And this may well only be the beginning.
If you looked at this scene in black and white, you would think you're back in the 1920s or 30s during the era of the Great Depression. The line outside the Bowery Mission stretches down that street in that direction, and it comes back in this direction as well. They say that the line is getting longer and longer each day that this coronavirus crisis drags on. This has always been a destination for the city's poor and homeless, but now they're seeing a lot of new faces in the crowd, they say. People who have lost their jobs, people who are not getting paid, people who are here at a food pantry for the first time. Here, they think they have enough food for about a week or so.
That number that we've been looking for just crossed, and you'll forgive me if my jaw's on the ground. U.S. weekly jobless claims total 6.6 million versus 3.1 million expected. 6.6 million unemployment claims were made in this country last week.
Think of that in human terms, of each individual. Most of them have worked hard and long at their companies. They have pride in their work, and they're gone through no fault of their own.
What we've seen through this COVID-19 crisis is that there are so many more people looking for food assistance right now. It is folks that are maybe from the service industry, from the hospitality industry, and they are seeing themselves being furloughed or out of work potentially for the first time. So for example, our mobile pantry sites, usually we have about 300 households that come, and with these distributions that we've had in the last few weeks, we've had upwards of 1,000 households come. So that is a huge increase.